density. But actually, how many people are actually using it, and B, how many people are not using it and who are accessible as a market. So the accessible market is far more if you look at it as something like 600 billion than if you were looking at 900 million, which of course is absolutely not correct. So this is something that we hope to dig out in a lot more detail and specific detail, but this is, I would believe it's fairly close to the picture, that it's somewhere between 650 million and 600 million. So telecom in India, it's pretty big. It's about maybe 800, 900,000 people, close to a million. Expected to go to 4 million in 2020. It's over 5% of GDP, so it's about half the pie that I talked about, which was 10%, which is ICT. It's got lots of towers which guzzle diesel. It's the second biggest consumer of diesel after transportation. Any of these companies, which run towers would probably consume as much diesel as the Indian Railways. Lots of FDI in the last decade, 13 billion. Mobile-only internet. Now, the TRAI data says about the last performance indicator report they had showed 198 million internet users, and out of which 89% were mobile. So many of those were mobile as well as landline usage, but about half are mobile only. So that's pretty interesting because that is a far lower figure in other countries which are developed countries. Mobile advertising, broadband. Broadband is absolutely abysmal. We are zero on broadband, despite National Optic Fiber Network and whatever. We are just not there. So I guess the answer going forward is not going to be putting more and more targets and 600 million target by 2020, etc., but really looking at the wireless side and how we can actually leverage that. Again, snapshots of last year. We had FDI, 100% FDI was cleared around the July-August timeframe, July actually. Degrowth happened because of what I mentioned, the inactive SIMs, a lot of them were knocked out. December of that year alone, 2012, 26 million in December, so about some 40 million odd were knocked out. Handsets, there was a lot of turmoil, but overall, of course, there was growth. There was 15% growth in revenue. Some companies did remarkably well. Samsung was right there. Nokia was on the other side of the spectrum. Tremendous growth in tablets. Now, tablets, there was a lot of activity. And, while Samsung, Apple, Micromax, this led the picture. Now, this we're talking about the last completed financial year. In terms of numbers, this is by revenue. In terms of numbers, you had actually DataWind come in, and quite a few other companies actually come in with the sub 5K, the 5, 6, 7K, 5 to 10K price point tablets. And they're actually, by units, they're coming in a big way into the top 5 or so in the tablet space. We had a lot of activity on MNP with mass migrations. 3G intra-circle roaming was affected and killed, and a lot of people, of course, had issues with that, starting with the operators. And the 2G action flopped with just one company bidding for it. So taking this forward where we are today, there's obviously lots and lots of challenges. Now this year we are supposed to hit 1 billion subscriptions. Okay. 1 billion subscriptions. Very, very high cost of spectrum, affecting broadband goals. So these are some of the issues that the telecom industry has actually put forward, taxation, the taxation regime, rights of way issues, crippling debt. There is the USO fund levy, 5%, which anyway there is some $5 billion, $4.7, $4.8 billion, which are still unutilized. Lots of challenges there. I'm not going to dwell on it for much longer because I need to move on. Energy remains a huge challenge. I mentioned the diesel in the past, and that's something that they're really, I think the industry is really struggling with because it's not, there's been a lot of pilots and efforts to move on to renewable. Parts of the segment say that not enough efforts. but the industry says that, look, the practicality of what we are able to do around a tower limits us. The National Fiber Optic Network, I mentioned that. So I just want to touch upon this as one possible opportunity area which just has not been really discussed in great detail anywhere. And that's mobile money. And you just have to focus on one figure, that Kenya, Kenya has 43% of its GDP flowing through mobile money, through one thing called M-Pesa. I mean, that's amazing. 70% of adult population versus 0.1% of GDP for India. So this could be a potential savior. There are, of course, lots of issues in the way. The banking regulations, the RBI regulations require a bank to be there. So telcos, the same telcos are able to actually go and do it in Africa, but they're not able to do it in India. And just imagine just 1% of GDP, what's that? 1.8 trillion, 1%, some 18, 19, 20 billion dollars. So that's really, really huge. So I'll just quickly take a look at IT. Nothing very exciting in IT. I did mention very, very low growth, 4% growth. PCs. So I'll just run through this. In fact, this presentation will be available. We need to actually move on to the next segment. And okay, so that was a very, very quick snapshot of, and those who are interested, we'll make this presentation available to you. I'm sorry I couldn't spend more time on those slides, but we need to move on. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're just going to be joined by our chief guest and the other guests who were there at the round table. So may I request those who are standing in that area to please vacate the area so that we can have clear access. Those who are standing there, please be seated. Off that. For the Honourable Chief Minister to join us any moment. Please bear with us, and we've shown you some of the videos that we have with you, but please stay on. I request you not to step outside because it'll be difficult for you to come back into the hall. Just bear with us. In a few moments, they should be outside soon. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, it is indeed our pleasure to have with us this evening as our chief guest, the Honorable Chief Minister of Gujarat, Mr. Narendra Modi. We'd like to begin our ceremony by requesting the Honorable Chief Minister to please take the lead in lighting the ceremonial lamp and beginning the awards ceremony. May I request Mr. Pradeep Gupta, Chairman and MD of Cybermedia, to please escort the chief guest, as well as the Data Quest Award 2013 jury members present here, Mr. Rajiv Srivastav from HP, Mr. PVG Menon from IESA, and Mr. Rajesh Jane from EMC to please come forward for the lamp lighting. Mr. Srivastav, Mr. Menon, Mr. Jane, to please join the Honorable. Thank you very much, gentlemen. May I request the Honorable Chief Minister to please come back on stage. As I would like to call upon Mr. Rajkumar Doot, the CMD of Videocon Telecom, senior parliamentarian and immediate past president of ASSOCHAM, to please felicitate our chief guest. Mr. Doot is a man of many hats. He's been instrumental in setting the directions and policy outlines for the growth of the Indian industrial sector. Thank you very much, Mr. Doot. May I request you to please take your seat? Ladies and gentlemen, since our chief guest has to leave early, we've made some changes in the order of the award presentation. The jury awards and the chief guest's speech, which traditionally happens towards the end of the program, will now happen first.